Measure twice, cut once. Welcome back to Bionic Life. My name's Kevin and we are back on the splitter project. And I just realized one of the mistakes that I've made. And I'm sure there are going to be many more. But when I calculated the height to have this piece cut, this is the spine that supports the back of the splitting wedge. The splitting wedge overall length from the very top to the bottom below the beam is 30 inches. So we have this much material, and I believe it hooks, let's see, we're right about there. So right about there. This is the overall height when the wedge is fully extended and raised as high as it'll go. It should run right around in here. Now, the problem is when it's lowered, the wing is going to be right around the 20-inch mark. When it's retracted, I'm only going to have 11 inches of wedge above the beam. That means this guy cannot be this high. I'm going to have it cut. Oh, I'm going to have it cut another 7 inches off of it and trim this down, and we'll get that done. But it's just one of the first oversights I had. I would have had another piece of material, probably a foot or 13 inches long, to use for something if I hadn't miscalculated. So that's the first mistake, but we're going to get on to the welding. Here is a wedge that I was using for another project. It's not long enough to work for this one, but it'll give you an idea of the concept. I'm going to have to open this up a little on the one that I'm building for this. This is just made out of A36, and the wedge I'm making for this particular splitter is going to be AR400. So that's kind of how it's going to look. Of course, this will drop down in here. There's a little bit of stuff I have to do. This may actually have to open up this front part just a little bit. We're going to be welding today with the Forney. It's a 220 MP, which is multi-process, and I have never owned a welder like this. I have a little 110 Lincoln 135 ST, I think it's the number on it. It's a MIG welder. That was for thin stuff. For heavier stuff, I always just use this cheap $100 AC DC welder that had DC plus, DC minus, so positive and negative polarity on the DC. And that's it. I never really messed around too much with TIG, which just is capable of a lift arc TIG. Lift arc TIG to a DC stick to a 220 MIG. We are going to be using or welding 3/8 plate to 5/16. So we're kind of starting off in this baseline somewhere in here, 23 to 24 volts, and wire speed of 420 to, what does it say, to 520. So we have quite a range in wire speed feed. This is the setting we're going to start out on. We're going to start tacking stuff together. I've got it set up. I'm going to try these settings. We're setting it up for 3/8 steel. I think I want 425, I think is what I had on my test pieces. We'll see how that works. I have the spacer plate in here. The beam's laying on its side, if you can't tell. And I have it set back about 3/16 of an inch. That's to hopefully, mitigate grinding as much as possible. I'm going to tack it up top in the corners. I'm probably just going to stitch it a little bit at a time after I get it all tacked in. I don't want to put too much heat into any one area and have it start twisting the beam. I have a straight edge I'm going to be using to make sure that everything stays kind of flat and try to minimize warping. Might actually be a little hot. Turn it down just a smidge. And I don't have my gas turned on. That would be a problem. All right. I don't know if that's the way I need to do that. I'm gonna come over here and hit this. I'm just gonna keep jumping around here. I don't know if that's the right way, but it's the way I'm doing it. I know how dangerous it is to show your welds on YouTube, and I'm open to critique. I'm not perfect. I am learning. This is really the first project I've welded with this gun. So with this welder, actually. Done a few little practice things, but nothing critical. Got a little bit heavier bead here than I have here. By the time I get to putting the final piece in here that's like 70 inches long, it's gonna cover up all my mess ups anyway. Hopefully this stuff will hold. That's the main thing. I think I'm putting more heat into the plate than I am into the beam. Although I am getting some burn on the other side. Eeks, that's bad looking there. And this is going to be one continuous bead right here. I say continuous, but I got hung up here. And my lens is all fogging up. Alright, there's that. I'm going to dial it down a little bit to weld this pocket up here. And I don't want to burn through this thinner material. And I think with the edge it's going to heat up pretty quick. So I'm just going to back down the heat. This is an experiment, so hopefully it goes okay. I'm actually going to sit down for this one. I think I'm going to start here and work this way. Come back and work that way. Only because it's so tight in here, it's hard to get a good position. I'm sure there's a trick to it, and the professional welders that happen to come across this will be more than willing to point it out, and I'm all ears because I don't know what I'm doing, admittedly. I might not be getting the burn in that I would think. I'm just trying to mitigate how much grinding I need to do here. And I may run another bead up here. Let me think about this. I think I'll wait till I get the other side on before I do anything here. Let's see, we're gonna start here and go that way. The chamfer may go on the inside with the plates that create the side pocket. The chamfer's gonna go in. I'm gonna have to grind these welds out. Like I say, I'm not gonna show that. But the beam and all outward appearances, let me see if I can get a good shot for you here, is not warping. It's staying nice and flat and straight, so I'm not putting too much heat into it, I don't think. And here's a nice close-up of all the welds. Go ahead and be as critical as you'd like to be. I'll get better as it goes, and like I said, these plates, those long, narrow pieces right there with a little bend in them, those are going to be capping all of this, and they're going to cover up all my poor workmanship that I'm during the learning phase. Something that's kind of interesting is there's a bunch of iron filings here on the ground from grinding, and these cords the magnetic field they create has left these little tracks, like cable tracks. Kind of interesting. Now, until this thing gets super heavy, or heavier than it is, I'm doing the old manual flips. I kind of get it here like this, tip it so that it doesn't fall off, then I push down, then I lift up, push down, wiggle it over, and then we're going to make it, to roll it, we're going to do this. Again, same principle. Keep it part way on the bench, push down, pivot, lift, pivot, slide. I think I'm getting some decent penetration. Haven't blown through it yet. That's a plus. This isn't exactly cut perfectly 90 degrees, and it's not perfectly straight. It doesn't really matter. It's in, it's going to be covered, like I said, but you know, I say the biggest thing at this edge here is parallel to the top. So I'm going to go ahead and tack all this stuff in and get welding on it. Amazing how much better it works when you actually turn the gas on. Alright, seeing how it worked last time, and I'm just going to try doing one continuous weld. I'll do this side, I'll jump over to this side, come across the back side here, and then finish here. We're going to try that. I'm not sure if that's the best way. I may pay for it, but the beams seem to be in pretty good shape as far as straightness. It just dawned on me that I didn't turn the welder up, but it's actually welding decent. It looks like I'm getting okay penetration. I'm not sure, but I am going to go turn it up real quick. I may have to have my cameraman go over and adjust this. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. I'm kind of okay with that. I got it set at 24 volts and 423 or 5 inches per minute on the wire, so I'm pretty okay with that. Sometimes I wonder, you hear people saying you need to disconnect your battery when you're welding on your vehicle, or unplug the trailer when you're welding on a trailer. I wonder how it works when you have titanium in your tibia and you have a titanium and aluminum artificial leg. I wonder how that works. Questions I think about. Yeah, I don't know. Getting a little better, I think. Seems like I don't have any undercut. The bead looks kind of consistent. I think I'm getting good penetration. I mean, it's burning in pretty good. I think I'm okay with that. So the settings that I have right now on the welder are 24 volts and 423 inches a minute. I think that's how it's gonna, you know, I think that's how it's rated, inches per minute. The multi-process, it has the stinger right there for the arc welder, DC only. Then you have the TIG torch right there. That's your lead for the TIG torch. Then you got your MIG gun. Kind of a neat setup. All right, again, because of the limited range of motion, I'm going to kind of start here. Probably going to try this. Kind of start here and work that way, then lean over and come in and come this way. I don't know. I might be doing it all wrong. I'm sure people in the comments will let me know. All right, there's that. That has not good written all over it. Thankfully, that's going to be back in behind that plate, because boy, what a hack job that was. My welder tip got fused to the plate. Almost makes me want to go in there and just do another little quick fill in there, just because it doesn't seem like it has very good penetration. Yeah, that's definitely cold right there at the front. All right, now let's see how these plates fit up. Again, I'm going to start in the middle and work that way, then come back and work to this way. It's so tight in here. Ah, that was kind of a running off the plate a little. All right, go the other way. That's gonna be it for tonight. I'm gonna have to do some grinding. I got my gloves sitting here heating up to get the sweat out of them, but I'm gonna have to grind these welds out just a little bit to get those plates to sit in there a little bit better. I did a quick test. Tomorrow what we'll do is I want to get this video posted tonight, hopefully, and look for the comments and see what I'm doing wrong, seeing if there's areas that I can improve. I'm trying to put it in the best position that for me, because I'm not great at getting down on the ground and welding in a vertical and up, upside down or anything like that. So the plan tomorrow is going to be, we're going to clean up these welds right here. I'm going to use these stainless strips as spacers. I need to go pick up a big C-clamp. The biggest one I have is 6 inches, and I want to get a larger C-clamp so I can clamp these things together. But I'm going to lace these strips. These together are about 1/16 of an inch. I already have about, I'm going to say, 1/16 of an inch gap, but this will give me 1/16 of an inch per side. That'll give me 3/16. Hopefully, I think that I'm calculating this right. We're going to do a test fit and all that stuff. I'm going to get a big C-clamp, get everything clamped up, and check to make sure I have the play that I need. I want this wedge to have enough room that it can be painted, and then the beam can be painted, and that it won't bind in there. So that's the goal.